As I was in the academic world thinking about leadership, it seemed to me that there was something very important that was missing from our thinking about leadership. The concepts that were coming up were often abstract and far removed from those leaders that I worked with and my own experience who were stressed and stretched to the limit. So I decided to take a different tack, to look for leadership insights in stories of groups that have pressed the limits of human endurance, a place that I call The Edge. Well, it's a tremendous honor to be here with you, and I have to say, especially following the speakers this morning, speakers who could do loops of music and came out in flight suits, and I thought, I'm just an old mud marine, what am I going to do? So I thought, well, you know, maybe I could break out my Antarctic exploration equipment, and some people don't recognize me without my hat, so, you know, this is a good...
Dr. Dennis Perkins, Leadership and Teamwork Lessons from The Edge. Dr. Dennis Perkins, author of the internationally acclaimed books Leading at the Edge and Into the Storm. Expert on leadership and teamwork. Former Marine Company commander, Harvard MBA, and Yale faculty.
I like to use the term expedition because I think it frames as a metaphor the challenge that you face in a little different way. On an expedition, you don't really expect everything to go right. You expect challenges and you overcome them.
Using story and metaphor, the Leadership at the Edge and Teamwork at the Edge keynote presentations provide riveting examples of the tremendous difference strong leadership and teamwork can make under conditions of adversity, uncertainty, and change.
The mission is to explore leadership with a story of adventure and survival, to discuss 10 critical strategies for leading at the edge, and also to equip you to survive in Antarctica and the Drake Passage.
The Leadership at the Edge presentation recounts the story of Ernest Shackleton's epic Antarctic expedition in 1914. Shackleton and his crew overcame unimaginable hardships to return without loss of life after 634 days in the frozen South. Dennis explores the parallels between the challenges faced by Shackleton and those faced by leaders in today's business environment.
The coldest temperatures on Earth have been recorded in Antarctica, near the pole of relative inaccessibility, minus 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit. I can see Jennifer is shivering just thinking about that. So as we go through the story, what is your Antarctica? What are your icebergs? What are your blizzards? What are the katabatic winds rolling off the plateau? What are the challenges and what are the rewards? A question you might ask is, why go to the ends of the earth to learn about leadership? The problem with me is I get interested in these adventure stories and then I try to do them. So I decided, gee, Shackleton thought it was a good idea. Why don't I try to recreate his voyage or at least see what he's seen? Antarctica is the highest, driest, coldest, windiest continent on Earth. Blizzards are constants and katabatic winds of hundreds of miles an hour kick up the snow.
Dennis's exploration of leadership at the edge is grounded in his own experiences as a Marine officer in combat, and brought to life with a compelling collection of images and stories from his research.
As we got further and further in, even with our modern steel ship, we could be stopped. And that's what happened to Endurance. A mass of ice closed around the ship. They were beset in solid pack ice. And look at that. I mean, for miles and miles in every direction, as far as the eye could see, they were stuck in solid pack ice.
Continued research into stories from the Edge has led to the development of the Teamwork at the Edge presentation. It recounts the contemporary story of the AFR Midnight Rambler, winners of the treacherous 1998 Sydney to Hobart race, the Everest of offshore racing.
All right, it's one of the most dangerous ocean races around, sailing from Sydney, Australia to Hobart, Tasmania. But in 1998, a group of amateur sailors overcame hurricane-force winds to push themselves to victory. Their story of triumph and survival provides timeless lessons in teamwork that could help you. Joining us right now is the author of Into the Storm, Lessons in Teamwork from the treacherous Sydney-Hobart Ocean Race, Dennis Perkins. So first, some of the things you learned from this in particular. This is a huge storm. These guys went into it. Why did that work? What did we learn from that?
What we learned from that was that here you have a group of people who are in a small boat, and the temptation is to turn around and run for safety.
The presentations drive home core principles employed by leaders and teams at the limits of physical survival and demonstrate how those principles can be applied in any challenging business environment.
Conclusion from all of this. Number one, there were systematic differences between teams that succeeded and teams that failed. Conclusion number two, 10 leadership and teamwork strategies seem to be critical to success at the edge. And number three, strategies that work at the survival edge also can be applied to the performance edge.
The programs are customized to meet clients' specific needs and have been delivered in a variety of formats, as half-day sessions, full-day workshops, and multi-day events. Leading at the Edge has been consistently well received with senior leaders throughout the world. Clients find the approach so compelling that years later, they still talk about their experience and recount the 10 strategies for success.
Performance, innovation, growth, and change all demand the greatest potential from a group, from an organization, from a leader. Whether you're surviving or you're excelling, you need to pull the greatest potential from your organization.
More than 20,000 executives from organizations of all sizes and across all major industries have participated in the Leading at the Edge and Teamwork at the Edge programs. Dennis's values, unique approach, and experience give him a truly unique capability to help you succeed at the edge.
Looking at problems that may seem insoluble under the conditions at least conducive to creativity and saying, hey, we can fix this. There is a winning scenario. We can find the answer working together. There's always another move.